Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back into the building. You already know what time it is. It's time for another all-you-can-eat Chelsea episode. And I'm telling you right now, there is a whole roster of things to talk about in yesterday's game. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I did my review almost a disservice. You know when you finish a review and you just feel like you didn't actually hit every single point? And maybe there's just too many things to speak about. Because I did a watch along and the first half was just dead. And I was like, I don't need a stream for this review. I'll just do a little video. There's not much to say. But then when you go on the TL and everybody's like obviously been tweeting, you're like, oh shit, yeah. So there's actually so much that I want to discuss and elaborate on. But to do that, I need my fellow all-you-can-eat Chelsea brothers. It's Miz and Younes. Miz, first of all, bro, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, good, man. Good, really, really good. I mean, we can use this particular show right now as a review session, so that every point that you miss, Matisse, we can absolutely bang on them. And yeah, man, overall been all right. Lockdown in Sydney hopefully will end very soon, and I cannot wait. The hair is just off. Look at this, man. It's off the charts.
You can't even get a haircut, can you?
Everything is closed, Younes. Besides food, everything is closed. It's just bare people walking outside, just cluelessly, just walking
around in circles,
looking at the sky. But yeah, man, 3 weeks. Especially it's very tough on. Like I've got a little boy. He's only going to be 4 in about a month, and it's very tough on him. Where like he'll be like, "Dad, I want to go to the shops. I want to buy this. I want to buy that," and it's very difficult to explain to him it's closed. It's nothing open. So yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, I mean, when you told me that lockdown in a country for 2 years, it sounds like a film. It sounds like something that's not real. It's actually insane when you think about it, especially because you guys like are just an island. Like you can't just go. You know what I mean? You can't go anywhere.
Just go into the water.
We are just here. Go into the water.
Maybe you guys are just gonna have to just walk.
Swim.
You're just gonna have to just get just rowing boats. You know, just maybe off the grid and just try and get to New Zealand. That's probably the closest.
But you know what the crazy part is, Matisse? It's not like things are close either. Like that will take a bit of time to go to New Zealand.
Oh God, Younes, bro, how are you? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, nowhere near the same sort of circumstances as our brother over here, but no, good, man. Yeah, I mean, it's piling up for us, isn't it? And we're in the midst of it, but we're coping, so it's all good. And yeah, after yesterday's game, we scraped it. We just about made it, but we're happy. We'll take it.
You know when you leave a little bit of rice at the bottom of the pan and you don't wash up the pan immediately, and then you come back a day later and you have to scrape the rice that is what that performance was. Just complete scraping.
How did you think of that?
That's pretty crazy, man.
Sometimes I just bring in real life issues into streams. It's something I do on a regular occurrence. I feel like I'm going to do it more often. But that first half, obviously, everybody here did watch-alongs, didn't they?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that nearly put me to sleep. I had a lovely new setup.
I was struggling to talk.
Yeah, I mean, bro, do you know when I watch along, you feel obligated to speak? It's like you can't just sit there in silence, because then it's just like somebody die. Like, well, we're just gonna sit here and just look at each other.
Look at this guy, what? Exactly.
Honestly, you feel obligated to speak. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm gonna have to just start waffling about something else, because these brothers on the pitch are doing absolutely nothing to keep us all entertained here. And yeah, I mean, the first half performance did almost put me to sleep. And really, the only person that kept me alive was Loftus-Cheek every time he decided to glide past someone. I was like, oh, you know, Rob. But apart from that, you know, it was pretty much dead. Someone's asking me in the chat, why am I wearing F1 clothes? This is not F1.
F1 clothes.
Nothing to do with
F1. There's an F1 team called Dundalk. There isn't.
Nothing to do with F1. At all, but yeah, I wish I had some F1. But anyway, back onto the game. So yeah, the first half was diabolical for us, and especially because Villa did weaken their team a lot. I know a lot of people say, listen, there was a lack of chemistry. We didn't have, you know, many partnerships or chemistries to rely upon But to be honest, that's what you kind of expect in a cup game. There isn't going to be chemistries and partnerships to rely on. We are rotating, and there are still enough individuals on that pitch that need to stand out and start and get the motor running and drive the car. And unfortunately, they were stuck in reverse for the first half. So, I mean, Miz, talk to me about just your general feeling for the first half before we get into more detail. Just how was you coping?
Man, I actually thought Aston Villa should have been 2-0 up at halftime. They had clear chance. I remember, I think it was Archer, whoever their player was up front. He was clear through. Luckily, Kepa came out. By the way, Kepa was fantastic, to be honest. I mean, he looked so much more confident. He was saving shots. He was making the right decisions. He was coming out and collecting. I mean, he was doing everything that a normal keeper should be doing, but it just feels good that he's now back, which is fantastic. But yeah, I thought we were very poor and kind of expected that with 9 changes, I think, from the lineup. 10. There you go. So yeah, I mean, Aston Villa should have been leading. That's how I looked at it. I definitely wasn't impressed at all with Hakim Ziyech in the first half. For the whole match, to be honest, obviously we'll touch on the second half. Saul wasn't impressing at all as well in that first half. Callum and Odoi, I don't think was that impressive either in the first half. Timo Werner, I know he ended up getting the goal, but look, I don't want to get abused, so I don't want to talk too much about Timo Werner. I want to be abuseless today. I want to feel good. But yeah, man, overall, I thought Aston Villa probably deserved the lead, and we were very lucky to get away with 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, you touch on a few individuals there. I'm going to get into them very soon, and I'm not going to mince my words, to be honest, because that some of the performances out there, they've done themselves no favors, absolutely none. And it's actually annoying because even all of the 11 are not really on form. We're speaking about it a lot. It's the 2 attacking midfielders. Anybody could take their place. So I am waiting at this point for anyone to step up and say, this is my position. I'm still waiting for it, unfortunately. I mean, Younes, bro, how are you feeling that first half? Because as we said, that was a rough one.
It was, yeah. It was expected. And this is why I made it clear, like, even in the preview, there was going to be heavy rotation and don't expect too much. I mean, I even told everyone that was watching my video, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. I put myself in that situation of preparing, right? Because
setting the people up.
I didn't do that. You knew I told these brothers W settings only every time.
I said it's a problem. I actually said it's a problem. We should be winning this.
You're out here looking after your supporters. I'm like, W settings only. Anything else is a failure.
Yeah.
Straight on rant settings. Now, the thing was, like, we knew we was going to have a heavy rotated team. Right. Yeah. And I was kind of surprised that Tuchel went to the extent that I think all of us expected. I thought he might go halfway, but not all of it. Like, I said Malang Sarr, for example. Yeah. I didn't expect Malang Sarr. You know, I thought it'd be a good idea, but I didn't think Tuchel would do it. And he did. And other, like Loftus-Cheek, Saul in that midfield, with Kante, like, I did, I was like, yeah, that would be a good idea. Did I expect it? Maybe not. But he went along with it. And that was the good thing to do. That was the best thing to do. We knew we'd have lack of chemistry. We knew we'd have loopholes. And this is why my prediction was 2-1. I was like, Villa will score, right? Surely, because you're playing 11 lads or near enough 11 lads that just don't play together for the first time against a good Aston Villa team. Let's not underrate Aston Villa. Like, they're a good team. And the lineup they put out yesterday in attacking areas, top class. Buendia,
Bertrand Traore was killing us.
Absolutely. So that first half, it was expected. It was dead. Aston Villa should have been up, as you said. Yeah. Kepa to the rescue. I don't know what Tuchel does at halftime, but it works. It worked against Tottenham. It worked yesterday to an extent, and then we fell off. But anyway,
shows them the cane. Better pattern up or you're going to get a whooping.
Do you think he does a Russell Peters? He goes, you're going to get hurt real bad.
I don't know who, but somebody going to get hurt real bad. Somebody. I don't know who, but somebody.
So, yeah, look, that first half was poor. Luckily, we went into it 0-0 at halftime. Some of the lads stepped up into the second half. And then, after that goal, it wasn't even a thing of we expected Aston Villa to score. I thought we'd run away with it, but it was just a really good goal.
Yeah.
Class goal from Villa. So, yeah, penalty shootout, we'll take it. But that first half was abysmal. Better second half, though.
Yeah, I think for me, in terms of the first half, there was just, again, a lack of imagination, a lack of creativity, lack of chemistry, which is to be expected. But there was still a lot of money out on that pitch. It was a lot of money. It was a money team out there, And you look at Aston Villa's team, the only players I actually really took notice of was Buendia and Traore in that starting 11. I feel like El Ghazi's been around for so long now. I don't know how old he is. It just seems like a constant Premier League, lower league team player that's just been around forever. They also rotated a lot, which is why when both teams rotate a lot and we've got the deep squad that everybody, fantasizes and talks about, I'm expecting a comfortable 2-0 win against Villa at home with that lineup that they put out. Nothing, no fireworks, no nutmegs, no flicks, no tricks, but just win the game in normal time. Don't make us have to sweat. Don't make us have to stress over penalties. It's really not necessary. Unfortunately, it did. But we'll go through, I think, individual performances because the team collective is basically, there was no team. It was just individuals thrown together. But start with Kepa. I mean, start on a good positive note. Kepa was brilliant. He made a big save. He made a big save from Archer, I believe, and then obviously Reece James goes to clear off the line, and then of course he saves a penalty in the shootout, which at this point it's just become customary. But it is good to see.
One of the best out there in penalty shootouts. Yeah. He's honestly
like a cat. And you know what? This is where I feel like his size is to his advantage because usually you say a smallish goalkeeper in a normal game, that's not good. Cross collection, long shots, etc. But for the penalties, I feel like it's actually helpful. And they say, you make yourself big, etc. But because you now have to hit the top corners with Kepa with your penalties. Yeah. And that does, and I think the players going up against him know that because he's going to get down much faster than a normal goalkeeper for those bottom and right hand corners, which is particularly where you'd want to go as a penalty taker. You're taught as a penalty taker, go low, go into the corners, tuck it in, side netting, and don't go into the roof of the net because then you're upping your percentage chances of hitting it over the bar, like Chilwell, like Ashley Young, crossbar, etc. You're taught to go low, but going low against a goalkeeper like Kepa, who's basically like a cat. And you know what cats are like, Younes, bro. Like they just be springing like this. It's a madness. Do you know what I mean? I've got a cat at home as well. Like you try taking penalties against a cat, you just wasting your time. Like you ain't scoring.
Should we get a cat in keeping? Should we like transferring January transfer, bringing in a cat?
Yeah, honestly. So he was great. Back-to-back performances for him as well, and it's good to see because, like I said, the market value just goes up. The stocks just continue to rise. Invest in Kepa coin. It's back on the up, and hopefully now this means that we'll be able to, get some good change out of him in maybe in the next summer, or because that's really what this is all about, in my opinion. But yeah,
hold, don't sell.
Huh?
Hold, don't sell.
Hold, don't sell. Oh god, the amount of people that sold not last season, the season before, they sold. But now, hold the coin, Kepa to the moon, as they say. I mean, Younes, bro, how are you feeling after that? Because it's good to know that when AFCON comes in, we could potentially just rely upon this man to do a couple games.
Exactly. Exactly. We'll be sorted. And Mendy will be going to the AFCON. Senegal will qualify. They are one of the best teams on the continent. So Mendy will be going. In that absence, Kepa is class. And you know what? He's in the form of his life. Let's have it right. Even better than I think he was when he was first choice. And this is really good to see from Kepa because we all expected a little bit of a downfall from him. It's not easy going from number one for a substantial amount of time, being demoted and staying motivated. And Kepa's done that. And I feel like he's been managed perfectly. He's taking his opportunities. He's making Tuchel think. In the absence of Mendy, we're sorted. And I saw a comment come in saying that he's overtaken Petr Cech now in terms of saved penalties. I mean, that's unreal. Petr Cech was probably the best goalkeeper in the world of his time, right? Debatable, but definitely one of the best. Kepa, has done that now. So honestly, look, I'm really, really happy with him. Really, really happy with him. He looks happy. He looks motivated. He looks up for it. And in the quest of the times where we have Mendy on the pitch, it seems like Kepa is completely cool and he's super professional. So perfect for us. Perfect.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly add something? And I think it doesn't get said enough. He's another player that Thomas Tuchel just literally fixed up. This man was broken. Yeah. This guy was broken. Like, if you've read his last article, can't remember where the publication, where he absolutely opened up about his, time last season and whatnot, and how it was so difficult. It's just another one of those players that Thomas Tuchel's just fixed up. Like, all of these players are now got value. Like, Rudiger has gone from sold to now wanted by Real Madrid, PSG, and Bayern Munich. Like, you got to be kidding me. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's unbelievable transformation. Jorginho, Kovacic, and
Alonso
Alonso,
team bus to best left wing back in the world.
Yeah. And now he's undroppable almost. Like, Chilwell is becoming an afterthought. Like, it's incredible. Oh my God, I can't. Thomas Tuchel, please hire me. Like, take me, man. Turn me into a footballer.
Yeah, please turn me into something, please. Do you know what I mean? Just take us with you, please.
Can you imagine all you can eat Chelsea cast becoming top goal scorers at Chelsea Football Club because of Tuchel?
I see no reason why we couldn't become a front three. You know what I mean? I see no reason. We've got more chemistry than the boys that are out there.
I say Matisse left wing, me right wing, and big man Younes straight through the middle, Lukaku style. Just hold up the play for us, please.
I'll link you guys up. I'll feed you guys. Don't worry.
Oh, it would be something. It would honestly be a sight to behold. Imagine us three as Stamford Bridge as a front three. Jesus, that would be something.
I'll be missing like Timo Werner, but.
If you do, I'm slapping you in the face, mate. I'm going to give you a black eye so you start getting up and running.
Oh man, our RLC redemption season has called it the boy is back. And to be fair, he has had his name like that the whole time. I have recognized him a lot in my chat. So fair play. Redemption, you got a long way to go before you can call that the whole season as well. You've had one game, but redemption game, I can say. But welcome back. It's nice to have you back in the conversation now, RLC. So I'm glad this account is working. Let's see what the future holds for this account. But yeah, I think for me, Kepa had a good game. Going into the back three, I thought, Reece, Trevor were a level above Malang Sarr. I thought Malang Sarr was just okay. I think the thing is with Sarr is that it's very clear for me that he's not as talented as Gurhi was or Tomori was or Colwell is. And for that reason, it's like, like, you know what I mean? It's just, you're not homegrown, so we don't even have that like real mad connection because you really just, we just signed you on a free from France, and you're not really as talented as them either. So it's like some people are saying he was way too aggressive in the chat. For me, it just doesn't strike me as a centre back for this level of club. Now he is a clear backup choice, and you do need those options in the squad. The reason potentially why he's in the team is because a Gurhi or a Tomori or a Colwell is eventually going to be too good to do his role, and they need to be playing games. So that's unfortunately how it goes in a squad. You do need the balance between clear backup players, rotational hungry players, and clear starters. And people to keep on their toes. And unfortunately, Malang Sarr is that very clear backup, and he seems to be happy to do that role. But yeah, the chat's not impressed. I mean, Miz, what did you make of the performance? It was basically his debut, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, I had some surprising comments in the chat where some were saying, "Oh, Sarr was really good." No, he was not.
I had that.
Yeah.
I was baffled.
I was baffled as well.
Good.
Yeah, good. And some were even saying, "Oh, he knows how to put some through balls." I'm like, are you sure that was Sarr or maybe standards. Another else player? Look, this is what I saw from Malang Sarr. By the way, we started off as a 4 at the back. There was 2 CBs, and then after the first 15 minutes, Thomas Tuchel just called out. I think it was, who did he call out? He called out he called someone now, I can't remember who it was, and just said, just go back to the 3 because this is not working. The 4 at the back, you guys are just exposed.
Yeah, everybody called for the 4 at the back.
No, you're exposed as an open meat out there, so don't get back to the 3. And look, you're going to play 4. We do need our Rudigers and the Thiago Silvas, and you need proper Kovacic and Jorginho. So anyway, that being said, Malang Sarr then moves towards as a LCB. There were times where I saw Malang Sarr as in the right mid. I saw him in the up front as a striker. He was just everywhere and just out of sync, out of position, constantly leaving Chalobah and Reece James in a very difficult situation, even with the 3 at the back, because he was just so erratic with his movements. Aggressive. I saw the comment, which is true. He got that unnecessary yellow card. And just overall, the guy, I think he was just so eager to impress. He instead did the opposite. So, yeah, man, there was another really good comment in the watch along when I was on. Someone said, he's not even better than some of the academy boys. You got players like Mbemba, who's now training with the first team. I mean, look, the quicker we find a home for Malang Sarr, hopefully this will be the end of it this season, and then we can move this particular player on. And as you said, Matisse, Colwell, Mbemba. So we'll see. This player is definitely not Chelsea quality. Yeah.
No, he's for me, he was profit player. He's a profit player very, very clearly. I mean, Younes, what about you? Do you see any value in having someone like this in the squad, or because I guess he's left-footed, which is the one positive trait that he has as a left-sided centre-back, but then his passing is not really that good, so it's not really an advantage. I guess it's balancing out.
The value we have in him is that we bought him on a free and we'll flog him for a couple of mil.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. I think, as you said, he's just a money man. Really, he's been brought in to make some profit.
It's another coin. It's another coin.
He is. Yeah, he's like a Doge coin to Bitcoin. That's Malang Sarr. He was very erratic. It looked like maybe he was trying too hard. It looked like he was a little bit all over the place. You saw Reece James having to flip out on him a couple of times. And you could just see the level of understanding and difference between a Reece James, for example, and even a Chalobah who gets it compared to a Malang Sarr. So it was really, really, really panicky from Malang Sarr. And there wasn't too much in terms of good things to say from Malang Sarr. Constantly exposed, he gets stuck in. Yes, he puts his body on the line. I think he does that, but in a wrong context, in the wrong way, it's not too effective. So, in terms of even, how we see Rudiger's got that quality to be able to take the ball, move it forward, contribute to the midfield, come back in time. All that awareness is something Malang Sarr just doesn't have at the moment, and I can't blame him too much because he doesn't play. Right, this was his first exposure to the senior team, pretty much. So I get it, but as far as I'm concerned, he's not even going to come even remotely close to our backline of Rudiger and Reece James and Chalobah and Christensen, Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta. Like, forget it. So yesterday was good for him to get some minutes, for him to be exposed to other clubs, for other people to have a look at him. And maybe get some exposure that way in January. Someone comes in with a good bid.
Yeah, I think, the chat's going mad in terms of just opinions right now. You guys have skipped forward to way up the pitch. You're talking about Werner and Saul Niguez and etc. But this comment says the guys just come to the Premier League with just 2 games, not even full 90 minutes. Give him 1-2 more games, then we can evaluate him better. I hear that. Personally. No, this is I'm guessing this is about Saul. Is it about Saul? Not even two. Okay, yeah, maybe it is about Saul. Okay, I thought it might have been about Malang Sarr. But yeah, in terms of Malang Sarr, I think it's just very clear that he's not of the level. I think I think you can tell. Sometimes you can just tell just by looking at the player. Maybe he can be improved, but to be honest, again, I'm not really trying to see it. I think we've had more talented and we've got more talented. So. As always, I have him down as a profit player and no real more than that. But yeah, Reece James, made a really good clearance off the line. it looked like you could look into his soul before he took the penalty. I don't know what it is about Reece James's eyes, but when the camera zooms in, especially, he is one scary guy.
Looks like a psycho.
Yeah, he does. He actually looks like a psychopath. Like when he's dead serious and you're looking in his eyes, he actually looks like a psychopath. It's very, very worrying.
I'm not surprised that the guys that showed up to his house waited until he was away from his house and playing in the Champions League game.
I reckon he would have beat the crap out of them.
He would have destroyed
them.
Yeah. It's actually mad. But, you know, with Reece James, I think, you know, he's for me, I see him as potential captain material because I know he doesn't maybe seem to speak vocally a lot, but he's scary as hell. And I think you wouldn't want to mess with Reece James. You know what I mean? You on that pitch when he's in. I think he was even shouting out quite a few instructions in that game as well. Maybe the other guys next to him was obviously a little bit more inexperienced with Sarr and Chalobah. So I think he was kind of taking that opportunity to you know, take control of the defense and lead. What is it with these comments in this chat today? Jesus Christ. Are you all just arguing amongst yourself, or are you talking to us? I'm very confused.
Woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Bloody hell, man! I know it's the morning, but blood. What is going on in this chat? Do I need to move this to a night show or something? What's going on with you lot? You man are not in a good mood today.
They just want to fight, man. I've been getting that lately today as well in live chat.
Are they all Aussies and pissed off?
Maybe. Look, you can say it's reactionary on Sarr if you want. My opinion on Sarr from the moment we signed him was the same, and I'm not going to change it unless he proves that he is of a Chelsea level. We signed a player that, in my opinion, is not of Chelsea level. We signed him quite clearly because he was for free. That should tell you half the story. If we had signed him for a transfer fee, that would have mean we would have been extensively scouting him, and we would have been, you know, investing in his potential. We didn't invest. We signed him for free. It was a business opportunity. That is what you call that, in my opinion. So I don't think he's of level, just period. And it's not every player that you sign, Gilabodji, Michael Hector. It's not every single player that you sign that, we have to make sure that, you know, potentially. In my opinion, I don't think he has any potential to be a starting or important part of this squad. I just don't. I really don't. He's not. How young is he? He's quite young, but
he fit the purpose for a game like yesterday.
Yeah, I think he's just a backup player.
Get good rest. Like he fits that mold perfectly. But he won't progress, I think, into someone where that's going to start putting Rudiger's position or any other top defender's position in jeopardy. No.
He won't progress.
Only get him good exposure for him to be sold.
Even like, again, Christensen at this age, like, you can see clear talent. It's very clear. Like he's not. I'm not talking about 18-year-old here. He is 22. Like, he is Mason Mount's age, Trevor Chalobah's age. He's not like some like young kid that. And again, he wasn't like highly regarded in France either. Again, I just think he's just a backup. I just think he's a backup defender at best, and again, we'll make profit on him.
I just want to quickly just touch on something. I want to see what you guys have to say about this as well. I see quite a lot of people at times say, "Oh, that's reactionary. That's reactionary." Well, nearly 500 people. I just want to ask you guys, what's your meaning about reactionary? What is? Do you think us three we just watch a game and then just go blurt out whatever comes out? No, whatever we've said so far about Sarr has not been anything out of line either. It's been nothing has been out of. People comparing Sarr to Mount are a joke.
What is going on today?
What happened? This is ridiculous.
What happened here? What happened here?
Honestly, I mean, we are talking about Malang Sarr, who hasn't shown any characteristic of something to believe in him. Do you know what I mean? Like Billy Gilmore, he came on in the scene as a young player, and we straight away saw his guile, his touches on the ball, his movement. He wasn't the finished article, but you can believe that, okay, I want to back that player because that could be something. You're telling me that Sarr, you've seen something in Sarr that you want to keep him. And then when we constructively criticize him, you're calling us reactionary.
Let me draw out this, brother. Hold on a second. Let me do this. Let me do this. Come, let's talk. Winston,
Oh,
you
Here we go.
seem to have a problem with me today, Winston. Listen, first of all, you're on my channel, so if you don't like what I'm saying, you can exit. All right, you can walk away. No one's telling you that you have to press play. Now, Winston, you're telling me that I wrote Kante off. I didn't write Kante off. I said Kante has injury concerns, and we're going to have to look at rotating Kante more often, which is what we've had to do. As you can see, he's still having injury concerns, even this season. So with Kante, you're going to have to stop over-relying upon him. And you're going to have to stop playing him week in, week out, because he is aging. And much like a car, he is adding miles onto his onto his servicing. So he's going to have to be looked after. Somebody that runs that much cannot be expected to just continue to run. He's not an alien, okay? And when it comes to writing off players after one game, let me ask you, did you write off how many chances did you give to Djilabodji? Or Michael Hector? How many chances? How many games did you give him? Please answer the question, Winston. How many games did you give Djilabodji and Michael Hector? Players that you maybe just thought weren't of the level. Nobody said he was washed. Don't make up nonsense.
What about
please.
Van Ginkel as well, Matisse? How many chances did Winston give him?
Don't make up lies. Washed was don't put words in other people's mouths. We don't like it when people do that. Because you won't find a single word washed next to his name. You just won't find it. So let's not lie here. Let's not lie. It's very clear. Again, if you add context to any conversation, injury prone, what are we going to do in the future? Doubts. That's what happens when someone is picking up injuries constantly. You have doubts about what is going to happen in the future. Do you have to start preparing? What is happening? Washed is not. It's not washed. Washed means finished. Finished means no ability or can't contribute. There's a difference. Pulisic is not washed. He's not finished. He's just injury prone. Hence why we have doubts about his future. That's how it works. That's the difference. So, Younes, take it away. It's a madness today.
It is. This is the thing. Yeah, you got to put things into context, as you said. When things arise, you can't predict the future. Right, you can try, but you can't get it spot on 100% of the time. If you have a player, for example, like a Kante at the time when he was getting all those injuries and everyone was worried, at that time, you couldn't have said, oh, no, in 2 years or 3 years, he'll come good, right? And he'll be playing his best again and the injuries will disappear. That's not how it works, right? You're going to have concerns. You're going to have doubts and you need a contingency plan just in case, right? You need to start thinking and pay attention to what if? What if this guy ends up with a massive injury problem and doesn't get to his best again? You gotta entertain that option.
Who doesn't entertain that idea? If someone's picking up constant injuries and you don't start pre-planning about, okay, if they keep getting these injuries, what are we going to do? There's two ways it can go. Pulisic can either keep picking up the injuries or he can stop.
Pulisic's in that now.
Yeah, Pulisic is in that right now. So do we have doubts about Pulisic's future or not?
Exactly.
You boys are so reactionary.
So reactionary, Miz. Oh, you're so reactionary. You're thinking of potentially might have to sell Pulisic if he keeps getting injuries, which is what I said with Kante. How come you're so reactionary? Imagine thinking about selling someone if they keep getting injured. It's like Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel's never going to get injured ever again. So no need to think about it. Just don't worry about it. It's not. I know he keeps picking up injuries, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. We'll just build a squad of loads of players that are injury prone, and if they keep picking up injuries, we just won't sell them. We'll just field them on the pitch with wheelchairs. It's fine. It's not a problem. We'll change the sport. We'll change the sport. What in the hell?
Brilliant.
And if Pulisic stops picking up injuries, guess what I'm going to turn around and say? I no longer have doubts about Pulisic. And he doesn't need to be sold. Crazy shit, right, Winston? Fuck me, man. Jesus Christ. Don't ever do that shit again, bro. Crazy shit. Incredible. And where have we even gone with this stream? We had an orderly fashion. I know. But this chat is not helping today. I'm sorry.
That's out the window. That's gone.
Usually you man are helping the show, but today you're just sending me on wild goose chase to put out fires that are not even there. The fuck?
This is why.
Am I a firefighter or something?
This is why I just want to say quickly. I've decided I've only want to do live streams for reviews and previews and blockbuster news. Any other stuff, I'm gonna start doing like just videos.
Man is telling me I was thinking about selling Kante like as if I'm ashamed. The brother was picking up injuries. The
Eddie,
fuck?
Eddie Hearn, is that you? I've got a fight for you, mate. Honestly, at this point,
there is absolutely no shame in thinking. Even I sometimes entertain the thought that if we can only use Kante once a week, let's just say for argument's sake, that may be good enough for maybe another season, couple of seasons at max. But eventually, we do need to think about the future. There's nothing wrong in thinking about the future. And you don't think about the future when you get to future. You think about the future now, so that by the time the future time arrives, you've got a player that's ready. So that's why you start talking about your Jude Bellinghams, your Declan Rice that's getting touted around, Shermanis. No. Don't talk about any of these players until Kante is actually sold one day, maybe 5 years down the track. Then we'll talk. That's not how it works, man. That does not work like that.
Oh,
you do need to think about a life after. With Pulisic as well, the other day when in the press conference,
there is no life after. That's what you don't understand.
this is the crazy part. I mean, the other day I remember a couple of weeks ago, 2 press conferences ago, when Thomas Tuchel came out and said Pulisic is out for 10 days. I tweeted out that's 2 weeks, let's say, that he's going to miss out. So that's about maybe 4 games, and then by the time he really comes back, probably miss about 6 games. That's 6 games that this brother's missing out. God knows how many more he's going to miss out for throughout the season.
Still not bad.
That's all I said. That's all. I've had all these American lover boys smashing me up, DMing me, telling me off because you have an agenda against Pulisic. You've always wanted him out. I said, where have I said sell him? I simply made a comment that it's an issue for keeping a player that is barely playing for us. I'm not saying I don't believe in his talent. He's got all the talent in the world. No one is disregarding the talent. But what is the point of the talent if we don't get to use him? So it's crazy. It's crazy. Kante leaves, Abramovich will shut down the club, liquidate everything and everyone. There you go. Yeah, even us, we'll just be liquidated.
Oh my God, it's a madness.
Is fantastic.
It's an absolute madness.
We've only just started. I know there's going to be other players we mentioned that's going to kick off again. I know it.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is clearly going to be. This is clearly what's going to be the case today.
If this came from Malang Sarr, oh my God. The 2 names in my head.
Oh my
God. It's going to kick off. It's going to
came from Malang Sarr, who does not even play for us.
That's actually so true. I've just clocked where this started from. Literally, this started from Malang Sarr. If this is where we're going with Malang Sarr, if this is the kind of tempers we're flaring up with Malang Sarr, then God help when we get to Hakim Ziyech, Hudson Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, Timo Werner. Jesus. I don't know if you man are even ready. Should we try another day? Are you really ready for these conversations or what?
The fire has already started. Let's keep going.
Let's just keep going. Let's just go.
Fire and brimstone.
Let's just go for the Armageddon. What did I say from the start that I don't want to talk about Timo Werner? I don't want to get abused. Now you see, because I can't say the true feelings about him. I know he scored a goal and whatnot.
Do I have a question? Do I have to rate every single player Chelsea sign and expect them to become something when really I didn't rate the signing in the beginning. I just don't think he's going to be the guy. But anyway, I mean the wing backs, Hudson Odoi. I mean, to be honest, this, like you said, the formation was just so confusing. 1 minute it's a 4, 1 minute it's a 3. Yeah, it was a bit of a hybrid. It was very easy to change in between them because Chilwell was at left wing back and he's obviously can be a left back, and Hudson Odoi right wing back. He can push the right wing, so it was very, very fluid and easily interchangeable. But let's get on to me and Miz's star boys because me and Miz, we're both having to look at this and say, what the hell is going on here? And do you remember we had the preseason, we spoke about Ziyech, and we was like, right, great form. But now he's picked up an injury. When he comes back now, he's going to have to show what he's about to get back into this team so he can continue his good form.
Yeah.
Have you guys got your guns ready at this point? Because I think shots might have to start being fired.
100%. I mean, live chat. Just get your knives ready, your machetes, your AK-47, whatever you got out there. Get it ready. I mean, look, I'll start with Hakim Ziyech. We're at a point where we can't even say that Tuchel's not giving him a chance. Like, he actually is giving him enough chance. He's given him start against Aston Villa in the Premier League. He's given him the start against Zenit in the Champions League. and now he's giving him the start against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. And 3 absolute poor, stinking performance, man. Stinking. This is coming from someone who loves Hakim Ziyech and wants him to thrive in Chelsea. But if you're going to get dispossessed by the simple touch, if you can't string a 5-yard pass, or you can't find that, simple pass through, my God, these chances are not going to be given to you that often enough. And then you can't complain. Then you can't shrug your shoulder and be all upset, because you are getting the chance. I can understand, okay, straight after the international break, you had a poor game against Aston Villa, but you make amends in the Champions League against Zenit. You really, really take that game by the scruff of the neck. Now, okay, you didn't do that either. Now you get an opportunity against Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup. This should be your game. You should be telling your teammates, I'm coming out of this game man of the match. I'm coming out man of the match. Yeah. But you're an afterthought, Hakim Ziyech, after that match, honestly. To a point where I'm getting worried. I'm really worried, because your Chelsea career is on the line. And it kind of seems like at the moment, you look at Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I know we're going to talk about Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He looked so determined to do well. You can see it in his eyes, man. He only wants to play for Chelsea, and he wants to come back in the starting lineup. He only dreams about that. I think literally, if someone was to say, Ruben, what would you do if we guarantee your starting lineup in Chelsea? Like, he'll do anything. I don't feel that with Ziyech at the moment. He's getting these opportunities thrown at him, and he's not taking it. It's just hurting, man. It's hurting. He doesn't deserve to start against City. He really doesn't.
No, definitely not. Absolutely not. No chance. So disappointed, man. and someone in the chat said, was he playing his preferred position? I feel like him and Hudson Odoi, it's just the same. We're hearing the same things. Hudson Odoi was quite high up the pitch at right wing for quite a bit of it as well. If we're getting on to my one.
Was Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing his preferred position?
Yeah, exactly. At some point, I know maybe, yes, you're a left winger, but in my opinion, I've always said he should still be able to do a job at right wing. Hudson Odoi at right wing, especially with Reece James behind him, there's existing chemistry there. You're a good crosser of the ball. But 1v1, there was a moment 1v1 where, and really every time he went 1v1, I wasn't confident when he went up against Ashley Young, because he almost took a touch too heavy, and then he had the speed to catch up to the ball, but then he went 1v1 and there was no skill, there was no invention, there was nothing. It was just very, it just didn't feel right. I don't know what it was. And here we go with the spamming 1v1 demon, you absolute pagan. Just leave me alone. But you want in a game like this, despite individually, maybe the team, if they're not spotting each other's runs and intricate play is not working, I understand it. But when you're 1v1, that's you. That's your moment. That's what you're going to do. And you're not doing anything. So it was unfortunate. I think, he was trying, but again, it's just, unfortunately, if he doesn't drop a masterclass, he's not getting in. And I keep saying it. Yeah. He has to be brilliant or he's not getting anywhere near this starting 11. And for me personally, it's got to be a situation where you got to try and loan this guy out, man, or even sell with a buyback. I think even selling with a buyback these days is really good, because you still have control of bringing them back, but then the club that you send them to has an invested interest to improve them because they can get money out of it as well. So I honestly just want to see him balling out, man, or at least have the opportunity to do so. And he's had the opportunity here, and I'm just tired of it, man. It just doesn't feel like the right environment anymore.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what's mad with both Ziyech and Hudson Odoi. I've got two different takes on these players. So with Ziyech, and Big Steve is going to like this. So shout out,
boys in blue from Division 2 are coming for you. Big Steve, much appreciated, bro.
When I look at Ziyech, I expect the same sort of impact like we see Mahrez at City. That's the sort of flavor I expect to see from a Ziyech. Now, some will debate and say, okay, Ziyech isn't playing completely wide on a wing, so that's probably why he's maybe a bit hindered. But if we're putting that into the argument, okay, so if he was on the wing, what's going to be the difference? That he runs in and cuts in? Is that it? Because from the position that he's in at the moment, all right, you can say that he's not having to cut in as much because he's a little bit more narrow. But at that point, what does he offer? And I expect him to be someone that's been able to dribble past players, to bring out those step overs, link up 1-2, go in between defenders, those little quick movements in tight spaces. I expect that from Ziyech. I'm not seeing any. And this is the concern now. Now I'm concerned. Now I'm thinking, does he actually have it in his locker or not? Or is he someone that's just meant to cut in and ping in across from the right-hand side? Is that all he's got to offer? I didn't think that would be the case, but now I'm starting to get a little bit, okay, maybe that's it. And I'm a bit concerned. So we'll wait and see what happens, but he's got to be playing better. Yesterday wasn't good enough. And with Hudson Odoi, we've said it for countless amount of times now. His final product is the problem. That's it. Whether he's coming one-on-one and he's having to face the last defender, whether he's having to cut in and make a decision, whether he's having to take a shot and work the keeper, all three of those circumstances, he just doesn't do good anymore. I don't know why. At youth level, he did. Got into the first team, we started seeing glimpses, and now it's been like a stagnant sort of thing. I understand he's had his injury, but he's gotten over it. And it looks like he's gotten over it, even psychologically. So you should be, getting back into the step of things. It's been quite a while now. So we're not seeing that. And it's the same thing. He runs out a last defender. And the amount of times he lost that duel yesterday was my concern, because I expect him to get past defenders. And each time he gets tackled, he loses the ball. Or he's having to make a shot, doesn't do it, or the shot gets blocked, or it's a poor shot. He had one good shot yesterday that worked the keeper. That was it. How more patient are we going to be with Hudson Odoi? I was someone that was against him going to Bayern Munich. I was against him even in the summer that just went by, of him leaving the club, because I was like, I want him to prove himself at Chelsea. He has it in him. Surely he has the potential. Now, when he's being given opportunities, we're not seeing it. And I can understand why he's playing right wing back.
This is skinny.
Tuchel has a point, because maybe bloody hell. Because maybe with his physical attributes, he can contribute defensively a lot better than he does offensively when he's having to make a final decision.
You know what?
I get Tuchel.
You know what Tuchel said the other day, or I think it was after the press conference. I think it might have been the news section of the press conference. He said that he really impresses in training. Callum Hudson-Odoi really impresses in training. But then when he's given the game, he doesn't seem to be translating what he's doing at training into match time. And this is what Tuchel wants him to get over now. Really make that transition, that whatever you're doing in training, which is impressing him and wanting him to keep him at Chelsea, when he's getting the opportunity to start or play, he's not doing that. So it just means one thing that Matisse was saying. This brother needs to go on a loan. He needs to play on a week-to-week basis. Because training is totally different to match day. So
yeah. I mean, people will say, and I've said this before, he's not going to just give you a performance out of just one game. Potentially, you need to give him a string of games, but he's not going to get a string of games, is he? So there's no point really going back and forth on it. Like, he's not going to get the string of games that people are saying that he will need to show anything. And he's not at the moment delivering in one-off opportunities, which you need to take if you're going to get the string of games. A loan for him, and especially when you see Dortmund come in, like, that is just a dream situation for any young player to go out on loan there, to even have them looking when he hasn't for a while really been at the top of his game. The fact that Dortmund was still interested is really good to see. Should have just, again, but it was never going to happen. They were never going to let him go out because they didn't have the depth at attacking right wing back position. So, it's just exhausted at this point, man. I just want to see some sort of development, some sort of clear development now. Even the things that he's usually good at from the right wing that I've been saying over the years, like crossing the ball, decision making, things like that. We didn't get anything. Monster was on the byline last night. He was speaking about body language. Even sometimes he was saying body language just looks a little bit like, not really feeling it. Doesn't really feel like as if he's really here. And I'm not saying he would have played every week at Dortmund. Dortmund is a very competitive place to go into. That's the good thing, is that Dortmund will play young players and give them ample opportunity to sort themselves out over a string of games. But if you still don't do it, then there is someone that's going to put you on the bench. So it's up to you. When you go to Dortmund, it's up to you as a young player. Do you know what I mean? If you take the opportunity, then great. If you don't take it, then great. Atalanta was a great shout as well from David. Atalanta would have been a really good one because, again, they're a very attacking team. They create a bundle of opportunities. Hudson Odoi was trying too hard, and Ziyech days are numbered, says Santana. For me, I look at the end of the season with all these guys. I think it's going to be very, very good to evaluate every attacking midfielder at the end of the season to see what they've done. And then when they've had their full second season, then I'm gonna probably know who I would say should personally for me I would be getting rid of. But I'm not going to say it this early because none of them are playing well, so it doesn't really matter. Again, we're still waiting. But let's get on to Loftus-Cheek. I mean, the attacking regista is what I'm going to call that position because I really, I was shocked, honestly. When I seen him in the team and I was like, right. And I seen the position, I was like, what?
Yeah.
In the middle. Like, I thought it was quite obvious. If we're playing a 4-3-3 and there's a free midfield, I expected Saul Niguez to be in the middle, Loftus-Cheek to be on the left like he was under Sarri, and Kante on the right. That's just what I expected. But for Loftus-Cheek to be in the middle, I was like, this is strange. But Younes, what did you make of his performance? Because it was interesting. It was good, but it was interesting to watch.
I enjoyed it, and I was surprised. I didn't think he'd have that confidence in him, and he did. Especially with the amount of times that he would get the ball in midfield, he'll have about 2 or 3 men to beat in such a tight space, and he just dribbles past and finds all the space in front of him to exploit. And he done that about 3 or 4 times yesterday, and I loved that. Which was very reminiscent of what he did under Sarri before his injury. So I thought he had a top game. I really, really did. I enjoyed seeing Loftus-Cheek. He contributed really well. He got stuck in. I saw there was one part of the game made me laugh. Hudson Odoi got bodied off the ball, right, very easily. And this player ran about 2 or 3 meters and Loftus-Cheek took him out. Loftus-Cheek was like, boom. He's like the big brother, literally sorting out the little brother's mess. And that was just, the whole thing, the whole aura of Loftus-Cheek yesterday was great to see. So I was really, really happy with him. And it's, I think it's allowed him to be put back into the conversation now.
Yeah.
You know, now we can actually start talking about, all right, Loftus-Cheek, what is he saying? What is he saying? And we'll see. We'll see this season at other times where he might be used. It's a bit early to just throw him back into the main setup, but
no.
It's very, very good signs yesterday. Very good signs.
I think in terms of competing for the 4th choice position, he's done very well for that now. Because Saul Niguez is kind of just not really here yet. Again, I think a lot of people are giving him a lot of criticism as well. But again, it's like, for me, it's just, I'm not really too bothered because he's only on loan. You know what I mean? We haven't purchased him. Again, it's like, if he does well, he does well. If he doesn't, do well, then it doesn't matter. We send him back. We move on. So it's not really a massive issue for us, especially if Loftus-Cheek is going to do well in spells. I mean, right now, no one's displacing Kante, Kova, and Jorginho. Like those 3 are just playing at a world class level. But for the 4th midfield position, if he can wiggle his way back in, then good stuff. I still have doubts if there's really room long term, because you look at you only have to look at the transfer targets that we were all talking about all over the summer. Like, he's going to have to do a lot to stop us from going after Bellinghams and Rice and people like this, who are obviously a lot younger than him and obviously have a lot of potential. So, but, you know, if he does make the club second think on that, then it would be interesting. So, I mean, Miz, what did you make of it? Because he was the deepest midfielder, but at times, because obviously he was central. But then the dribbling allowed him to make himself the furthest forward as well. So it was quite strange. And then he would be the cam, and the other 2 would make a pivot.
Yeah, I mean, look, down the track, that's a position, if he's going to play a lot, he would need to get a lot more game time in that position to be the deepest midfielder and know, because obviously our build-up didn't look right at times. At times we looked a bit open because Ruben, at the end of the day, is not an out-and-out regista. That's not his game. He's a box-to-box. But having said that, he did so well individually. You know, the way I don't think he barely got dispossessed. I can't remember any time he got dispossessed. Every time he got the ball, he shielded it really well. Sometimes he'd turn the defender around and then go shoot off on a nice mazy dribble. His passing range was really good. At times he'd sneak into the edge of the box to see if there's an opportunity there. Yeah, set pieces, whether it be defensively, offensively, he was always there because of his height. The physicality has always been there. The thing I want to say about Ruben Loftus-Cheek now is that, as you boys have said, he seriously has put himself as a fourth choice midfielder. That one thing I can definitely say, that Saul, for what he was brought in to be that fourth choice, Saul's got to work real hard. He really has. I'm not giving up on Saul, but from the horrendous start that he had against Villa in the Premier League, I mean, literally any performance would have been better, and that's what he just did. It's slightly better than what he did against Villa in the Carabao Cup, but it's nowhere near the level that we require for him to play on a regular basis. So for me, obviously, it's Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante. But if someone needs to come off the bench, Ruben has to be one of the first ones that Thomas Tuchel should think about now, because one, you saw the attitude, the way he carried out that position, even though it was probably not his preferred position, but he still did a great job in it. It definitely would put a plant in Thomas Tuchel's mind. Now, the fact about, is he going to last for the long run? He only needs to see Chalobah's progression. Chalobah was someone that we did not even think about was going to be part of the setup. Gets an opportunity as a RCB in the first training game, does well. Tick mark for Tuchel, you get another chance. Gets another opportunity, takes it again. Tick mark, tick mark, tick mark. And now he's part of the setup, to the point where, Thomas Tuchel categorically said to the Chelsea hierarchy, you're not letting this player go. Yeah. So this is what Ruben Loftus-Cheek needs to do now. Tick mark against Aston Villa, against Carabao, good job. I'm expecting him to come off the bench against City. I think he'll probably get some minutes. It could be three in the midfield. It could be Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho, and we could set up with Lukaku and Werner up front, because I think there's something about that particular setup, and I want to see a little bit more of it.
3-5-2.
Yeah, 3-5-2. I think we can catch City that way as well. And I feel like that set of group of players is at the moment playing well. Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic are playing really well. I know a lot of people say, well, what about Mason Mount? Mason Mount can work himself back up again. He's not the same Mason Mount that we had last season, still finding his way back. So there's no need to just throw in when you've got bosses like Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic absolutely killing it. Let's keep the bosses there. And up front, Werner just scored. He looked very lively with Lukaku against Spurs. Lukaku has been the boss up front. So let's allow that to continue. You've got Alonso, who's killing in left wing back position, and probably it's going to be Azpilicueta. So in the second half, Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, someone could be out of the legs could be gone, because there will be a lot of running. I'm expecting someone like Ruben Loftus-Cheek to come in, and I want him to get another tick mark there. Whatever minutes you get, Ruben, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, but when you come in on the money, and that will just mean another tick, and he just keeps building up the ticks. And this is where players like Calamans and Odoi and Ziyech are missing the trick. You're not getting... Ruben is literally praying before the game day. Can I just get 1 minute? Please, Lord. 1 minute is all I ask. And you guys are getting proper game time. You're just disregarding it. You're disregarding it. So hopefully, Ruben Loftus-Cheek can keep getting those tick marks. And you never know, man. You never know what can happen by the time December comes around, by the time January comes around. It could be a totally different complexion in the team. Could be. Yeah.
RC Redemption Season says his touch, direct passing, running with the ball, dropping the shoulder, young Zidane, I tell you. Jesus Christ. I didn't read all of that, so I wasn't expecting to see that Zidane part. I mean, Younes, what did you make of the performance? Because it was the only thing for me in that first half that was entertaining to watch. Everything else felt kind of stagnated, but obviously second half, then we started to see a few more players getting involved as well, but it kind of all started with him. I mean, how do you see it at the moment for him in terms of the overall picture?
I'll say what Miz said as well, in terms of just being able to take each opportunity as it comes now, because that's what he's going to have to do. There's no way he's playing ahead of the three midfielders that we've mentioned. That's not going to happen. And if they're playing in a 3-5-2, for example, where we've got Mason Mount to think about, there are other midfielders there that are already ahead in the pecking order. So it's a case of him just having to just keep working, head down, keep taking chances or keep capitalizing on the chances that you get. And we'll see. But yesterday was a perfect example of what you could do. And it's a good first step. And we'll see what happens. Do I think he'll be used anytime soon? Probably Chelsea Southampton in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And probably the next Carabao Cup game, if I'm being completely real. Definitely not in the Champions League anytime soon, whilst we're still not sure of reaching the knockout stage. If we manage to get that sorted early, then even in the last maybe 2 Champions League games in the group stage, we can start using players like Loftus-Cheek. We'll see what happens. But competition's hard. And we got to look at Saul. Yesterday, yes, wasn't fantastic. An improvement on his debut, I would say. But still not up to scratch. But again, I'm willing to give that benefit of the doubt because he needs to adapt, and he is adapting. And I think maybe after 2, 3, 4 performances, he might start reaching that level of understanding in the English game. So, we'll wait and see. But right now, in terms of the system change, that's going to be key for us to pay attention to. Because if we do stick with a 3-5-2, which worked so well against Spurs, if we do it against City, if we play Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic all together, then that could be the birth of a new system in this Chelsea team. If we're using Werner and Lukaku up top, it might just change things completely. So we'll see.
It's something. It suits Mount and Loftus-Cheek, that formation, doesn't it? With the two, maybe I don't want to say 8s, but just the 3-man midfield. It allows one person to move forward. The only thing I will say of Loftus-Cheek is this all does depend on whether he is able to be an impact player in terms of coming in every now and then and performing. Because right now he's not going to be a starter. And sometimes players need momentum. They need, okay, we've just played well now. Can I play again? So I can keep going. But he's not going to play again for maybe a couple of weeks in terms of any starts. Maybe the Southampton game, like you're saying. So is he able to put in a performance like he did, go away for a couple of weeks, and then against Southampton do it again, and then again, and continue to have that type of role in the team without building up any sort of momentum is going to be interesting to see. I still think even on the Man City game, I would still probably expect Mount to probably come in before him. If we are playing a 3-man midfield, I would probably say pecking order wise, I'd be surprised if he came in before Mount. But it would be nice to see him come on. If he does come in, that would surprise him from Tuchel. But if I was a betting man, I'd probably still say if Mount's not starting and you've got those 3 playing, I'd probably still say, just because in terms of big games now against Man City, Mount's played a lot of times against Man City under Tuchel as well. So he kind of understands maybe the little intricate details in terms of covering certain spaces defensively that you need to cover off the ball, etc., like that. Which in this game, let's be honest, you didn't really need that level of tactical detail, I'd say, going up against that Villa team. It was a little bit more like go and showcase what you can do instead of having to track De Bruyne, having to track Foden. That is a whole different ball game in this position than tracking whatever Archie. Do you know what I mean? So who scored a great goal, by the way. So yeah, it's going to be interesting on that front. But yeah, Saul Niguez, I mean, I think, he's, again, like I said, for me, it's just whatever happens with him, because we've got Gallagher doing so well as well out on loan. There's another player I forgot to mention, Gilmour. I mean, I don't know, Gilmour's loan, man. I hope it turns around for him, but we seem to have sent him to another.
That's another one. I don't want to talk too much, because every time I say something, you're reactionary. It's only been like 7 games. Yeah, 7 losses. 7 losses. The thing I just want to say is that as an individual, it matters if your team is doing well, because it only elevates your game. Yeah. If your team is constantly losing, and not just losing, getting battered, have a look. I don't know if you guys have been following Norwich. I've followed a few of their matches purely for Billy Gilmour. The last one they played in the Premier League, where they lost, can't remember, 3-0 or something like that. Can't remember exactly what it was. The third goal, Watford. 3-1. Watford's third goal, Billy Gilmour was a huge factor in that third goal being conceded. His clearance from defense just was so off. And I thought straight away, he wouldn't do that if it was at Chelsea. He really wouldn't do that. Literally just few yards away from the box, he goes for a clearance and he skies the ball. And then Watford from there just snatches the ball off him and then goes on and scores. I'm pretty sure he doesn't make those uncharacteristic sort of, decisions if he plays for Chelsea. This is what I'm saying. Just because he's playing on a week to week, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to develop regular time on a team that gets battered every week. Does not mean you're going to develop. You need good players around you. You need good atmosphere around you for you to have all of that. That's what I'm worried. I just don't want this player to come back battered, relegated, getting the least points ever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's gone from a high of winning the Champions League, being man of the match performances for Scotland, to...
This is a good question. I mean, Miz, I'm gonna let you answer this, I guess, because this is a question that's been put in a couple of times. It's a good question. Are we able to do that? Because sometimes, guys, you need a clause, a recall loan clause.
Yeah, you need.
I don't know if we have that. I don't think we have that. I didn't hear about it. So.
I don't think we do. I don't know. I don't think we do. I think he's trapped.
He's trapped over there.
I would. This is what I said a long time ago, man. I mean, by the time Saul gets back into track of actually contributing in a positive manner for us, he should have just kept Billy, man. I mean, how much worse Billy would have done? How much worse?
But the thing is with Billy, though, is much like all these other guys, is that he needs minutes. Like, he needs to be starting week in, week out. Billy's too naturally gifted to be just coming in for cup games and coming off the bench for 10 minutes and 5 minutes here. Again, it's about building up momentum. This is why, although I don't want to get too ahead of myself with Loftus-Cheek, because he's competing with Gallagher, who's out on loan getting minutes every week. He's competing with Billy, who everybody rates very highly as well. And he's competing with any transfer targets, Bellingham, Tuchel, Declan Rice is still a target, whether people like it or not. I'm not saying that I really care, because, again, I'm not bothered. But he's a transfer target, so you're going to have to get used to hearing his name in these transfer windows, even if it doesn't happen. That's a long list of players to take one spot, really, that is available, because everybody keeps saying, okay, well, maybe, these guys are getting older. But Kante has... Although he's still having little niggles every now and then, when he does play, he's outstanding. Jorginho playing great, for the most, 90% of the time. Kova seems like he's having one of his best seasons so far to start with. It's early, but he's actually adding end product to his game. There's only one spot left if it's a 2. And if it's a 3, I wouldn't even say there's more spots open, because that Mount comes into that probably. He drops in, and he obviously becomes one of the 8s. So it's a difficult one, I think. And to be honest, if it does become a 3 long term, then we have some serious overloading in the top end of the pitch with Kai and Werner and Ziyech, and that something's going on there. Because Ziyech is not a striker, so that become problematic for him. But yeah, I look at it and it's, people are saying Gallagher's last season was wasted because of Batman. I don't know what that means. Oh, because he was at West Brom, not Palace, was he? So West Brom, Batman wasn't there.
Gallagher was in West Brom. Batman was in Crystal Palace. Yeah. So you're getting a bit confused there. But that's a lot of players vying for potentially one spot, and you can add Saul Niguez into that as well, I guess. But yeah, I don't think we have the ability to bring him back, unfortunately. Gallagher is thriving in the right environment at Palace. His role is clear, and the more he plays, the better he gets. It's complete opposite for Billy, a battered team that probably has accepted relegation 5 games in. Yeah, I agree with all of that. It's pretty much spot on.
You know what, with the loan move to Norwich, I think at first we all understood.
Yeah,
and again, this is going back to the first point about Kante at the very beginning of the stream. You can only sort of have a sort of prediction as to what might happen, but you got to prepare. And I think in terms of that loan move to Norwich, it had all the right attributes on paper. In terms of his position, the way Farke likes to play his Norwich team, it's a very similar sort of system. They don't have the quality that we do for them to execute in the same way as us. But in terms of Gilmour's personal development in a certain position, it fits. Now, it's gone wrong because Norwich can't play ball. Right, it seems. But
which is surprising. They were meant to have been playing pretty good football last year.
This is the thing, and I'm sure Chelsea looked at that and went, "Yeah, this will be good for him." You know, like all of us thought it would be good for him. But football's football, and these are the things that happen sometimes. I think one positive to take, if Norwich do end up in a relegation scrap, right, that could be a good thing for Gilmour. In terms of his character, in terms of his development, his individual development, being in that sort of situation, he can come back to Chelsea with bruises and all sorts and gone, I've seen the worst of it, lads. I've been down there. It's not nice. You know? So that's, I guess, one positive that you could take from it. But hopefully it works out. You see a difference in Gilmour when he plays for Scotland.
Yeah.
Even the last Scotland game, he was fantastic. Goes back to Norwich, and it's just
pretty sure he's been getting man of the matches for Scotland every time he plays.
Constantly. So yeah, you know, we'll wait and see. But it's not going so well at Norwich at the moment. Hopefully they turn it around just for his sake.
Yeah, I mean, Global CFC, you were timed out, I think, because you keep spamming the chat with the same thing. So if you're gonna keep spamming the same point over and over again, you're probably gonna end up getting blocked. So I'm just saying, you can make your point. Like I said, all of your opinions are valid, even if I don't agree with it. And I do 1v1s with you on stream, which I'm also entitled to do. But don't keep spamming the same thing. Move on to a different point. It's very boring to see in the chat the same point in capital letters over and over again. That's spam. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be fascinating to see. I think someone earlier was asking on Chilwell what you guys made of Chilwell's performance. Obviously, right now, he's second in the pecking order to Alonso. Today was just about, again, minutes, isn't it? I mean, he's that was his first start, which is crazy. I think it was his first start, wasn't it?
It was his first start.
Yeah, crazy. And we're at the end of September coming up. So I think when it comes to Chilwell, it's just about getting on the pitch. Right now, you know, Alonso's having the form of his life, so there isn't really a space for him to come into. The penalty was unfortunate because I don't know what you guys made of that Steer guy, but his penalty performance in goal for Villa was absolutely abysmal. Like in the game, he was very good. You know, he obviously saved a few shots. He kept us at bay. Not that we created a whole heap anyway, but in the penalties, he was diving so early that you already knew where you could shoot. Like he was gone on the floor before they even kicked it.
It's like he didn't want to save. He just wanted to get away. Score,
oh my Jesus, that man was something else, man. It was so funny to watch. Every time we took a penalty, he was on the floor before it was even kicked. I was like, well, this is going to be a simple tap in, isn't it? Hazard would have had an absolute field day with that man and Jorginho as well. They would have loved it. Because
you know what they would have said? Get back up again. Get back up. Like, we want to take this properly. Like, don't mess around with it.
You're making it too easy. That the way he was moving in goal, the technique for Jorginho and Hazard, perfect. Absolute perfect for players like that. But yeah, I think for me, there's not really too much to say on Chilwell. I'm not really worried about Chilwell. I think he always does manage to get himself back in eventually. But in saying that was in a back four last year under Lampard, then obviously back three under Tuchel, and he did get back in eventually. But Alonso seems to have a little point to prove in terms of, listen, this is my formation. I won the title in this formation under Conte. So why am I just going to suddenly give up my place and be eased out this team? For what reason?
Yeah.
Go on, Younes.
No, I was just going to say, this is where people, and I feel like there's not a lot of this. People need to understand this isn't some sort of vendetta against Chilwell. This has nothing to do with Chilwell and his performances. No. He's not playing badly. In fact, he's not playing. But when he's playing like yesterday, that wasn't bad. But Alonso has stepped up to this next level that he's undroppable. You can't drop him. So it's nothing against Chilwell. It's just we can't drop Alonso, and only one can play. So I don't want people to think, oh no, Chilwell's being treated completely unfairly. Tuchel's mad, doesn't know what he's doing with Chilwell. No, he knows exactly what he's doing with that left wing back position. And right now, it's Alonso, and you can't drop him. He's stepped up to another level, another planet. So, unlucky Chilwell. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The key word there, as you said, Younes, Alonso knows exactly what is required for the left wing back now. He might have been a little bit off track last season, but this season, I don't know, people, nearly 600 of you guys. First of all, smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to 500 straight away. Come on, guys. Don't slack, man. We've been, I'm sure you guys have been enjoying this conversation.
This chat doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Don't ask anything.
Let's get those likes up to 500 minimum, man. I mean, please. But Alonso, as I was saying to the live chat, you guys as well, I've noticed he plays a lot closer to the midfield now. He doesn't just bomb forward unnecessarily, leaving a massive gaping, hole at the back where it all becomes melon shaped. He stays closer to the midfield where he's actually a very key component for the build-up as well. He acts as one of the, you can go long to Alonso because he's tall and he's always going to go, he's going to win the aerial battles from there as well. So there's one thing there. He's closer to more Jorginho and Kovacic, so he's helping out there and he's picking his moments as to when to go forward. But most importantly, he's looking for that pass to release Werner or release Havertz, who then end up getting assists and whatnot. And then he has the ideology to, once he releases them, he can gallop down the track and go into the box and create another extra body there. So he's playing this left wing back position to the T at the moment. A lot of people say, oh, but he's slow. Rudiger's, helping him out a lot. Well, that's Rudiger. Rudiger's there to help out. What do you want Rudiger to do? Oh, Alonso, that's your job. I'm not going to, everyone just go by. Yep, go by. That's what it's a team sport. That's how it all works at the moment. So at the moment, Alonso completely understands the left wing back position. He knows when to attack the box. Set pieces, crosses, corners, he's getting an assist. Free kicks, he's getting goals. So Chilwell's got I'm sure he'll come back. He's got the quality, but he's got his work cut out this season because this Alonso seems like technically he sat down with Thomas Tuchel and said, show me the blueprint, brother. How do I play this? Show me how to play this.
You know what's mad? Yesterday I've managed to just bring it up because I remember seeing this and I thought, let me try and find it, and I've just found it. There was a stat that came out saying Marcos Alonso has the most overall chances created, which is 12, and the most chances created per game, 2.4, in the Chelsea squad so far this season.
There you go. Well, I can name straight away.
How can you drop that?
Yeah, you can't drop that. And also with Chilwell as well, he's a lot younger than Alonso, so there is going to be a time where Alonso leaves because he's aging, and Chilwell will then be the guy that you'd expect to come in for the next 5, 6, 7 years anyway. So it's not really a worry or an issue right now because the age range, the age profile of the players is fine. Do you know what I mean? The age profile of the players is matching up nicely for a takeover anyway, even if Alonso is going to be good and doing things this season. So I think just for Chilwell, there was a nice analogy about, the motor's cold and it will hot up as well. And I think with Chilwell, someone was saying that he plays the position defensively. I don't know. I think he plays it quite balanced. Chilwell does get forward and he did get some goals last season as well. So I wouldn't say he's defensive. I just say Alonso is freakishly way more attacking. Like Alonso is a striker. He wants to be in the box. I swear, I think he was a striker in another life. I really do. He wants to be in the box. He wants to be scoring goals. He wants to be in the final third. Like he is desperate to score goals. Whereas Chilwell is just a little bit more balanced with it. I think he's not really too attacking, or too defensive. I think he's just in the middle. And he's got the pace to get back as well. Let's see. But yeah, it's not really a situation that worries me. I'm quite happy with the left wing back situation. Someone's asking here, do you think Chilwell could do a job at left side centre back? I think that is a conversation that could arise. I've seen Kieran Tierney do a job for Arsenal at left side centre back, and he's not the tallest. And Chilwell is actually pretty good at aerial duels. He's quite underrated in that regard. And, he's quick.
I mean, with Tierney, that's Arsenal though, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, I know. Had to get that dig in there.
We could play left centre back.
Winston could play left centre back.
But we also saw Emerson. We also saw Emerson play that role last season as well.
Yeah.
When we needed when we needed him to play, he played that left side centre back as well. So I don't know. Chilwell, it's too early maybe to say if he could do it. We'd have to see it in a game. Malang Sarr is really at the moment taking that backup position behind Rudiger. And to be honest, you don't really need to worry about the backup left side centre back right now. I think that's if Rudiger doesn't sign his new contract, then we have a situation where we need to worry about who's coming into that position long term. But Rudiger plays basically every single game, and he's pretty durable, it seems, as well right now.
Yeah.
So he seems to have got over his injury worries over a couple of years ago. So I don't think we need to worry about moving Shaw to back up left side centre back. The minutes that Sarr's going to get is pretty minimal with Rudiger playing like one of the best centre backs in the world. So I don't think we need to move anybody there. People are asking about Ampadu. I have no idea what is happening with that brother. I just know he joined the team with a nice kit.
He doesn't start. I checked. He doesn't start for them. They're actually a very good team.
Are they?
Surprised if he doesn't
really?
start.
Did they not come up from Serie B?
Yeah. As in, look. When I say very good team, as in they're not like top 6 or anything. They're still in the bottom, but they play good football. I've seen a couple of their matches. I think recently they beat someone quite good. I can't remember who it is, but it was a quality Serie A team that they beat. But yeah, he doesn't start, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start enough.
I got to say though, Venezia are the best looking team in the world. In terms of kits, by the way.
I was waiting for it.
Their kits are fantastic. Unbelievable kits.
Here's another one he needs to. If he doesn't get game time, doesn't develop, doesn't impress, which I don't know how he's going to. It's going to take a miracle for him to break through there and then really impress. And Venezia is another team that's probably not going to be, in the top half of the table. They'll be
they're 18th.
they'll be in the bottom. But
Jesus Christ,
I've seen them play. Like they play well. They're 18th, but they play well.
The Italian Norwich.
So many dreams.
The Italian Norwich. But yeah, he's gonna come back again off the back of this loan, and he's not gonna have any chance. I say it's time to let go of him as well, man. Honestly, it's time to let him go.
Yeah, you're reactionary as fuck.
Oh, bro. Yeah, close this channel, man. We're all reactionary. Close this.
I'm gonna. All right, so no, hold on a second. I'm gonna play a game. What is everybody's opinions on Ampadu in this chat right now? Let me see.
Oh,
just moment of silence. Let's see what everybody's opinions are.
500.
And don't shy away from the truth as well. Just please tell me your honest opinions on Ampadu. I want to see something. Real quick. Umbayomba.
This will be fun.
Well, Umbayomba never came on, so there's nothing to say, to be honest. He never came on.
We asked them to do something, they tell us to do something else. We are the captain here. You're not the captain.
Alex Kane for left side centre back. What are you talking about? Is that a Tottenham? It's a Tottenham joke.
Kane for
a wise man once said, "It's time to go."
Disappointment. Sell Welsh. Jesus Christ. Welsh Rob Holding. Oh my God. Missing person now. Let him go. Okay, so it seems to be mainly sell. And I'm glad you've been honest. Honest.
They're on the vibe. They're on the.
Now I'm waiting for Winston.
We're back on the same
Winston
page.
is no longer in the chat. He's definitely not here anymore. I haven't seen him for a while. So a lot of people are saying sell, right? Let me take a look at the age of Ampadu. 1 second.
23, 4.
No, he's 20. He's 20. No. He's young.
So Ampadu's 21.
21. There you go.
Plus a lot of caps for Wales in terms of international. A little bit up and down for Wales recently. I wouldn't say amazing for Wales, but up and down. But 21 suits the system as well. Plays a back three. Played it at Sheffield United. Played it for Leipzig, but again, not great loans. But you're saying sell. All right, now. Not to rehash old arguments, but Sarr's 22 didn't have a good loan at Porto. Now, when he was on loan at Porto, was you telling me
had a master plan?
When he was on loan at Porto, not getting in the Porto team, was you saying sell?
Winston's going to come flying back into this conversation.
No, I'm not really. I do like Ampadu a lot, but if he's not gonna get into the team, then listen. There's the problem is in this position. There's so many. Like again, this potentially with Ampadu, maybe a sell to buyback, maybe a sell to buyback as well. Because again, Levi Colwell, you got a matching clause on Gurhey. Even though I don't really know if that will ever get activated, but maybe if he does his thing. But in terms of the amount of Sempacks, Umbayomba, he was on the bench, maybe in the first team training, maybe gets a look in as well. There's so many centre-backs that we have. Christensen's obviously signed a new deal, thank God. Thiago Silva's not slowing down. It looks like he could get another year. I think there's no reason to say why not if he's going to play this well. Azpilicueta is continuing. Again, these are players, Azpilicueta and Thiago Silva, you'd expect them to be declining. So then you could start to talk about the next batch, but you can't start cooking the next batch of cookies if this one has not been eaten. And these guys are still doing their thing. They don't need to go anywhere. They're still performing. So it's becoming a very, very clustered space. There's so many centre-backs. It's actually mad. So yeah, I mean, Fick, people are saying buy back Fick as well. He's been playing very well for AC Milan. So yeah, there's just a lot of centre-backs there. But before we wrap up, I mean, we haven't even spoken about the attack because Timo Werner, I mean, he was, I guess, the part of the, well, we did speak about the attack, but he's the striker. He got a goal. Good goal. And you know what? My feeling on Timo for this game is changing in the fact that he didn't really do anything outside the goal, if I'm honest. That really, again, he didn't really show himself to be like, oh, this, I'm proving myself. This is a crazy performance and I need to start. But he scored. And at this point, that's all I've asked for. So I'm not going to complain. I've been waiting for this guy to score a goal for so long now in terms of just Reece James crosses. Can we take advantage of it, please? And he actually did. And if he had missed that, he would have been dragged and probably rightly so if he had missed that because it was an absolute tap-in with a header right in front of goal and still really was just in such close proximity, could do nothing about it. So I'm just happy to see him score. I have nothing else to say.
I mean, with Timo, this is what I was saying in my in the watch along as well. Glad he scored. He tried to look as lively as possible. I think he looked better when Lukaku came on. There was a chance where he cut it back for Lukaku, but Lukaku overran it. Had he just paused and just kept his checked his run, Lukaku probably would have got a tap-in. This is the reason I want to see Werner and Lukaku play. I feel like there's something there. And if we can just... It's not like all the other brothers are really putting their hand up and say, yeah, we deserve to start. At the moment, these two, they're doing all right. So if we continue. The thing I don't like about Timo Werner, and it's always been the case, and I hope that he's improving, and maybe it's never going to be improved, it's the ball control. When the ball comes to him, it's that class first touch, it's that ability to shield the ball and look for a really clean pass. Sometimes he's passing and it's going over the touchline. His ability when he's hugging the wings, he seems like he wants to drift away. Like he doesn't know how to cut it back in. Like that goal that Lukaku scored against Aston Villa, how Lukaku was actually on his strong foot, but he cut it in and then hit it with his right. So many times Werner gets into those sort of juicy positions where you think, Timo, if he just cut it back in, now whether he has it in his locker or not, that's another question. But he could do that and then hit it with his left. He just doesn't have those extra qualities. That's what sort of annoys me. But when he does have a player like Lukaku up front, it is a different Timo. It feels like he's more free. He can roam around. And he's got that reference, and he feels like he doesn't have that pressure. He knows the big man Rom is there. He's the one everyone's expecting to score the goals. I'm just going to be cheeky and see if I can just put in a goal here and there. Whereas if he's the starter, he feels it like, oh man, the world is looking at me. I need to score. I need to do something. And I feel like that is not his game. That's just not his game.
Yeah. I fully agree. I think with Timo, the support system of Lukaku next to him is probably going to help him and excel him rather than being that main man. And I think being that main man up top, there's one issue, and a lot of people saying it in the chat, his ball control is definitely something, his first touch is definitely something that's not up to par. But when he's not up there by himself and he's got like a Lukaku next to him, for example, as long as he's just running off and being able to just run onto the ball, you eliminate that whole first touch option anyway. So that kind of helps him. I'm glad he scored. It was a good goal, good placement, great header, great ball in, by the way, from Reece James. I think we got to give credit for that. Hopefully it builds up some confidence. He had an assist against Spurs. He scored today. Scored yesterday. Bring on City.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think City, they obviously are a very attacking team. So him having that pace, we've used it in the cup games, we've used it in the Champions League. He does make them question whether they should step back 10 yards and not be so relentless and attacking. And I think they're going to have a respect for us anyway, because we've got their number at this point with Pep. We've had their number the last 3 games. So there is going to be that level of respect. And we see it with Pep when he goes away from home to Anfield back when they were clashing for the league title. He does go more defensive and he does, take away an attacking midfielder and be a little bit more conservative. And I expect him to do that against us, especially with the defeats he's been holding. So I don't agree with this comment about great dribbling skills. I think that's the complete opposite with him. I wouldn't say he's a great dribbler at all. I think that goal against Newcastle last season, or the assist you're talking about, the game. Yeah. So the game, I think he was just running in a straight line, and it was a straight line run. And I would expect a footballer to be able to run in a straight line and not piss that up, of course. But I wouldn't say he's a dribbler at all. No, he's not. He's not a dribbler in the slightest.
The one thing he has, I think, above a few of the other players we have in those positions is his acceleration. So the moment that he gets the ball, he's able to just hit it and go. Chances are he's getting past the defender. And he's because it opens up chances immediately. So he's all pace, isn't it? It's kind of like what Fernando Torres tried to do when he was here as well. When he started and he wasn't on much confidence, he would hit it past the player and run around them a lot. But he was coming back from an injury, and I don't think he had the same pace Timo had. But yeah, it wasn't a pretty sight. But yeah, people. I mean, that's really. I think that rounds it up quite nicely. This has been one hell of a show, isn't it? This one, Jesus Christ, this one will go down in the memory for sure. This one will go down in the memories. Jesus, this was a fiery one today, but I like it. I like a little bit of fire, a little bit of spice, a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of pepper. You know what I mean? Hot chili. It's been a hot one today. Hopefully next week, we're coming off the back of a win against City. Who have we got next midweek? Is it Juventus?
Juventus
away.
Okay. Yeah. So hopefully we're coming off the back of wins. They're not. No, they're not actually, are they? They're actually struggling in Serie A. Are they not down in like 12th or something?
Yeah,
they are. They are actually quite. Yeah, they're quite far.
They're closer to Venezia. There you go. The Italian Norwich.
They are struggling quite a bit actually, Juventus. So hopefully we can collect 2 wins. I really want to win this Man City game at the weekend. I know sometimes people say a draw, but we're at home, and I think again it puts out a great statement. If we've taken almost maximum points, and the only game we didn't take maximum points was a game where we were 10 men for 45 minutes against one of the best teams in the country. That is a ridiculous start to the season with the fixtures that we've had. It's incredible.
Against City last season, we beat them 3 times in the space of 6 weeks, didn't we?
Yeah.
How long has it been since the Champions League final now? 4 months exactly, pretty much.
Yeah.
So if we add 16 weeks, so we have a chance to make it 4 wins in 22 weeks against City. Come on, Chelsea.
Yeah, let's get it done. So yeah, by the time we are speaking next week, is going to be a whole heap that's gone on and things to reflect on. Until then, take your spiciness now elsewhere. We're going to close the show. I hope you guys are I don't know if you're still revved up and you need more spice. Has Miz got content coming up? Let's find out. Miz, what have you got coming up for us, bro?
Yeah, I'm taking a new approach, and it's probably a good time to let you guys. Obviously, I'll announce it in my channel as well, where I want to do more sort of shorter videos and do the streams for more sort of, if there's a blockbuster news and I want to talk it out, I'll do a stream. Generally, the previews and reviews, even for certain previews, I might not even do a stream for that. I might actually.
I've been just doing videos, yeah.
And I've noticed that the videos, they're better. They're better. I think Younes knows why I say better. So yeah, and streams are great, obviously, but I think I'm going to keep it for sort of, as I said, those particular points. I've got a Ruben Loftus-Cheek video that's going to drop in straight after when we finish this. I'll be talking about how he played against Aston Villa and how I think is should be considered as the 4th option in midfield, so on and so forth. So do look out for that if you're keen. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, about 250 subscribers away from 8,000 subscribers, which will be a massive achievement for the channel. And hope you guys can help me out on that. And if you're keen, just pop down to the other side of the coin. And
I love that name.
What's going on.
I love that name because you know what? It doesn't even have to just be football. You could just branch out into something completely different in the future, and it's just got nothing to do with football.
Absolutely.
It's brilliant. Younes, bro, let them know where to find you. Pleasure as always. It's been a fiery one today. I've enjoyed it. You guys have really woken me up. I was tired coming on this thing, but you man woke me up in this chat. I like it.
Yeah, especially after yesterday's game, we needed something to wake us up.
Yeah, so this stream was more entertaining and wild than the freaking game itself.
Exactly. Yeah, big time. No, for me, usual content. Obviously, with the Man City game coming up, preview will drop for that tomorrow. Watch along review. We look forward to Juventus. It's all kicking off. So yeah, the standard videos that are coming out. And if any big news arises in the football world in general, I'll address that. But apart from that, it's all just going along with the calendar. So yeah.
Are we away to Juventus? We must be, isn't it?
We're away.
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I was gonna say because we've had a lot of home games this month. Like there's season ticket holders that are saying, Jesus, that's a lot of games, isn't it? Like I can't get. I'm here every 3 days. Jesus Christ.
This is why Man City can't empty out their stadium.
Speaking of Man City, it's a fantastic segue. I have the Oil Boys back tonight at 10 p.m. with Big Steve, Monstar, and Saj. So please bring your spiciness, but don't bring it for me. Bring it for the opposition because we're going to have a completely different situation and challenge to face tonight when we go up against the other two. And they have humbled themselves, it seems, quite a bit. We've seen Big Steve earlier. Big up to him. I'm going to be seeing him tomorrow. And Saj has been pretty humble behind the scenes in terms of expectations going into the game at Stamford Bridge. So
Saj will be on my channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely
soon.
Stuff as well. So yeah, bring that spiciness, people, at 10 p.m. because we've got double streaming today. And it's different type of violence, okay? It's violence, but hopefully we're all pulling in the same direction. So
we got to bring the rift between the City fans and Pep now. We got to capitalize on that.
Yeah,
start talking about the way that Pep's talking about the fans. Get Steve and Saj rattled. Got to be done.
I feel like we're gonna get the fourth. I so feel we're gonna get a fourth on him, and
I've got a good feeling.
It could be the start of the demise of Pep.
Well, let's hope. I'm really hoping we get it because it's just, for me, not even about City. It's just the statement that it sends out. The fixtures that we had by far the most difficult fixtures. We haven't played any of the relegation candidates. I'd say Palace are looking, I think they'll be a, higher second. They'll be like an 11th, 12th, 13th place team, in my opinion, with the talent that they've got. So I don't think we've played any of the strugglers yet. So yeah, if we can get through this now, this next game, then the only way is up. Hopefully with this team and Lukaku stat padding against outside the top 6 teams, which we know rival fans hate. So yeah, outside of that, people, I'm going to let you go. It's been a long one, and I'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. for the return of the Oil Boys. In a bit, people. Peace.